Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for another reaction. Thank you to our $5 patrons, Redwolf4765, Midnight Gem Lord, and Sean. Another thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays, and Redwolf4765. And a very big thank you to our $10 patron, Robbie Uchiha. And another very big thank you to our $25 patron, Alex Ice Rose. And a very big thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. Now, before this breakdown / review, analysis, live reaction, whatever you want to call it, to Eternal Flames, how Yuji will become the next king of curses. Please leave your own thoughts on Yuji become the next king of curses in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that little notification so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below, each first though as one, cut them one, down one, to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You know, so now become a member of the channel first though as 3 month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into the live reaction. What's up guys, I'm Hunter here, and here we are to do a live reaction to not the Eternal Flame. Eternal Flames, how Yuji will become the next king of curses. Now, notably, I'm not sure if this is the right video. I'm going to be reacting to a couple of them in bulk, though. Like, I said across the whole day, I'm going to be reacting to a bunch of content today. So, Eternal Flame, a couple of your videos are going to get reacted to. You're probably going to see them pretty soon. So, regardless, if this is the right video, fantastic. I clicked on the right video, because you did recommend me one. If it isn't, I'll probably get to it. And if it isn't, leave me the right one down below. But speaking of down below, the link to Eternal Flames channel will be in the description down below, along with the link to the original video. If you are new here, I do like to talk a lot. Like a lot. This video is 6 minutes and 47 seconds. I don't know how long I will be here. I cannot promise you anything. So if you want the original video uninterrupted with all my pausing and without me messing with the video and flipping it to encourage you to go watch the original video, please go do that. Please go leave a like on his original video, leave a comment, say I sent you, say whatever. I don't know, just go and comment, because we got to fight the YouTube algorithm all together, and the best way we can do that is together. But let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it. Editing me. Ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Already. Why was that intro so fire? Like, hold on. I need to just play that back. Yo, wait. Nah, that intro was heat. Yo, slide me the effects. What? Yo, slide me the effects for that. Like, I've been using the, but can I really? I can't get rid of the short accent. The short accent's just been, it's kind of like a part of the channel now. I can't get rid of it, but darn. Simple yet sweet. That's a fantastic intro. Hold on, let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
Hello everyone, Eternal Flame here.
Hello. This is another. I'm at 3. I got 3 voices. I already had another video lined up for Migneal, so that's 4. I'm gonna get 4 today. So we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff coming up. I'm hearing more and more of y'all voices, which is fantastic. But what's good? What's good? How we doing? Let's see.
A while back, I do not remember which video I talked about this, but I talked about that I think that Yuji is going to end up pulling a Geto now. And I still stand by that opinion.
I should have watched that video first. Do I cancel the reaction? Watch that video first? I don't know. I will watch it out of order. Pulling a Geto. See, now I really gotta watch that video, because I don't know what that means in this context. Like, start to slay all humanity? Or nah, not that way. It's probably gonna be like, pull a Geto as in make a massive ideology shift due to the trauma and torture you went through and feeling isolated and alone. Because when you really think about it, like, all of Yuji's friends are either packed or possessed. Like, at least Geto had Gojo. Geto had Shoko. Geto, like, he had people. And to be fair, Yuji has people now too. He has Akari, he has Yuta, he has Maki. But like, in terms of his first friends at JJK, even with Gojo being back, Gojo was a teacher, not really his friend. So like, it's entirely likely, it's more than possible, that when it really gets down to it, Yuji just feels isolated, alone, and like really, really sad about that fact. And of course, I would also feel sad if I was suddenly isolated and alone and my best friend was possessed and my other best friend has not shown up in like, when did Nobara get packed? It was pre 119. No, it was post. It was post 119. I know 119 in like my head now because I think that's which some fight it is. I always click the 119 whenever I'm going to use a chapter because there's a bunch of like panels there that I always need to use. I think it's like the 130. She gets packed in like the 130s, and we're on. So we're on a full 100 chapters away from the bar getting packed. I don't think because we're on 221. So I think we still have like a little bit more time post packing because I know Nabar gets packed right after Sukuna levels. Yeah, it's Sukuna versus Maharaga. I'm pretty sure that's 119. Sukuna versus Maharaga, and then Shibuya gets leveled, and then that's what happens. So Nabara's been packed for a while now. He's had to sit on that for a while now. And unless she just appears, because it's entirely possible, she can just appear at any moment. So I will huff the copium with y'all, Nabara fans. I guess she could still be around. I guess. But like, if you don't huff copium, if you do not huff copium, then she's been gone for nearly 100 chapters. And with that being the case, Megumi's been gone. Not for 100 chapters, but he's been gone for a minute now in our time. And not too long in Yuji's time, but still his best friend got possessed by the thing that he was possessing. Or the thing that possessed him and made him do terrible things. So like, Yuji's really down in the mud right now. And considering he did, yeah, this is the exact face he made in 122, not even 120, 220, I do believe. I'll eat anything. Like, bro's definitely on a type of timing. So him going down a Suguru Geto-esque path in terms of like suddenly shifting, like the mentality shift, the energy shift is going to be crazy. Like, I do agree. Like him, though admittedly in 221, he does seem a little bit mellow, which is why the only reason I'm a little bit off about that. Geto was different from Rip. Like after the one interaction he had with Gojo, once we cut to a year later, Geto's just fundamentally different. Lost weight, lost his mind a little bit. He's different, though. Immediately, it doesn't take too long for him. But Yuji, never know. I think I'd be down to see him break or to see him snap because obviously the mentality is so important in JJK. Like it is literally the most important aspect. Well, not the most important aspect. Obviously your curse technique and your curse energy amount and stuff like that. But I'd say it's like third or fourth most important thing in a battle because your mentality is what like elevates you. Look what happened to Gojo. Gojo verge of death, bada bing, bada boom. His mentality shifted. Toji got shifted. Be like that when it be like that. When you see Maki get her mentality shift in Sakurajima Colony, she went from, oh no, Curse Naoya, to, oh no, Curse Naoya, and like body bagged him. So like, obviously mentality shifts can be massive. Even Sukuna, not the most experienced, Kenjaku's the most experienced. So, but one of, if not the second most experienced sorcerer in the entire series is like, yo, when he's talking to Jogo about like why he's weak right now or how he is strong, but he could be stronger, he's like, yo, I'll be real with you. You need to like, shift up your mentality, bro. Like you can't be on this like, oh, I want to be a true human. You can't do that, bro. If you want to be true, you want to be like Satoru Gojo, you gotta let it go. You should have burned everything in your past. So mentality matters. Mentality matters insanely. So Yuji getting this new mentality, I think it's gonna put in some work. At the very least, it's gonna put in some work. But let's see.
That is what I'm here to talk about in this video today. Because with the entire thing of JJK is going to have a basically month-long time skip, it's going to be a little bit longer, I just don't know the exact amount. I wanted to use this video to describe what I think...
It's November... What day is it? Is it November 19th? Yeah, November 19th. So, a month and 5 days. They have a month and 5 days to get gains. Admittedly, I still don't know how they're going to do that. Like, I don't know. Like, how? Like, Gojo's gonna handle Sukuna. But, like, Gojo can only handle Sukuna. So it's gonna be the JJK Avengers against Kenjaku. But once Kenjaku pops domain, what are they doing? Like, I get it. Obviously, Kenny's in a rough spot. Like, not a rough spot. Well, no, kind of a rough spot. Like, he's gonna be fighting Yuta, Hikari, Itadori, if Kashimo doesn't run off himself against Sukuna before December 24th, Kashimo, but then again, I still think Kashimo's out of the equation. You don't see him in 221 anywhere. I've scoured that entire chapter. No one's corrected me yet. Maybe I missed them, but no one's corrected me yet. So I don't think you see Kashimo that entire chapter of 221. So I think he ran off. I think he's gone. Fight Sukuna. So I don't think Kashimo's going to be included. And plus, he would only use his curse technique against Sukuna. So he's not going to use it against Kenjaku. So at least you have what? Maki, Yuta, Hikari, a special grade, a near special grade level fighter, if not special grade. Now, I can see, yeah, being relative to 15 fingers is crazy. So you got to be like special grade level in terms of Maki's case. Itadori, I mean, like, he's tagging 15 finger, but like Sukuna literally laughs in his face. So I'm not so sure about that. But Hikari and Jackpot's obviously up there. Whatever. Stronger than Yuta, not stronger than Yuta. Don't really care. But up there in terms of that. Then you have the rest being fodder. Like, what's Panda gonna do? Kirara? Inumaki? Momo? Unless Miwa's secretly the strongest in the verse, like everyone theorizes she is. Miwa? Like, what is the majority? We have like 4 viable combatants against Kenjaku. One of whom can only use their power for 5 minutes. I think Kenny can hold domain for 5 minutes. And like, I know Hikari has that, like, he has that one statement. I forget, it's in the original translation. This is something that, like, unlike the unusual ability statement for Yuta, everyone agrees on this. Like, you see, if you've heard it, if you've heard Hikari talking about domain, Hikari's domain in the original translation, when he first opens it up against Kashimo, is explained to be, like, really good in tug of wars. Like, insanely good, like, cracked in tug of wars. Like, it's really that top level echelon of ability when it comes to tug of wars. But can Kenny and Sakuda's domains even get in tug of wars? Because they don't have a barrier. Like, if you were to, like, say hypothetically in Dagon's domain, say Dagon tried to fight Kenjaku and Dagon opened domain, couldn't Kenny just open domain in his domain? Because, like, we know that Kenny can open his domain and it can be confined to certain barrier spaces. Like, that's what happened in the Yuki, Tengen, and Choso fight. Like, he opened domain within technically a domain of Tengen's, and it just worked out. Like, Tengen had to collapse the barrier that they were in order to make sure that Kenny didn't immediately execute Yuki. So, like, if Hikari opens domain, and then Kenny's like, oh, I don't know what this does, and opens domain back, like, doesn't Hikari just lose? Like, can they even fight in that? And, like, notably, because it's barrierless, can Maki get hit by it? Like, I think Sukuna is confirmed to work against Maki and Toji. I think it's specifically noted. Like, Gege went out of his way. I think Gege was cooking. He was cooking a little bit with the idea of, like, oh, Maki and Toji are immune to domains. I think it's kind of weird in the Gojo's past arc. Like, maybe he wasn't fully cooking, but he was kind of cooking. Because notably, he goes out of his way to build into Sukuna's domain that, oh, cleave is for things with cursed energy. Dismantle is for things without it. Like buildings. So, like, and what is a specific comparison we get for Toji and Maki in their whole conflict? In their reveal of their immunity to domains and their sure hits, they're treated like buildings. So we know Malevolent Shrine, it's going to work on them. Toji and Maki still lose if Sukuna just hits them with that Ryuki Tenkai. But for the rest of the gang, for the rest of the barrierless domain gang, aka just Kenjaku, would it still work? Because we don't know. We don't get a proper explanation for Kenjaku's domain. So we don't know if it targets everything. So I don't know. Maybe Maki's the key. Because I think there are 2 ways. I think mainly it has to be Maki, though. I think Yuta's essentially has to be like, Yuta and Hikari have to be thrown at Kenjaku. Like, Kenjaku needs to fight both of them at the same time and need to deal with them at the same time. And then Maki needs to come in and sneak that man. Like, sneak that man with Soul Lip. I think that's the only way they beat Kenjaku. Especially if Kenjaku drops domain, and because it wasn't specified if Maki and Toji could be immune or not, because we don't know how it treats buildings and non-cursed objects, then Maki, as Kenny's like, oh, whew, I'll let you Willikers. They were low-key pressing me. I guess they were holding back against that. Woo, woo. Then Maki comes out and is like, yeet. I think that's the only way. Because I don't see. If Maki gets affected by domain, they literally don't have a way to get past Kenny domain. They don't. Because we know simple domain doesn't work. We know by the domain being barrierless, it's automatically more refined and more fine-tuned than Yuta or Hikari's. And, like, I know this may sound crazy, but I genuinely think Kenny has, like, a comparable amount of cursed energy to Yuta. He's using RCT, spamming maximum, spamming reverse curse technique, spamming reverse curse variations of the technique, and he still, seemingly enough, has cursed energy after the fight with Yuki and Choso. So I think Kenny should at least, maybe not the same amount of cursed energy as Yuta, but a hefty chunk. A hefty chunk. So I think he could do it. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm very, very intrigued to see what they're going to do in this month and 5 days. Because, like, what can they do? Unless... Once again, maybe Itadori should just eat Panda. Maybe everyone should just eat panda. Everyone, can you imagine if Yuta just had Duraneg and base? Like he starts, like Kenny gets run up on by Yuta and Yuta punches him in base. He's like, oh, you don't have your curse. Like, what is that? Oh, I ate panda. You ate panda. That's where that bear is. I thought Kashimo executed him. I feel bad for the panda fans. Like, legitimately, not even in the sense that, like, I slander panda, but it feels like Gege slanders panda. Like, really? How you give him a whole backstory only to have him reduced to a head and now he's literally not even a viable combatant anymore? Like, unless he can grow back, and to be fair, he's grown back to a decent size relatively quickly. I forget when whatchamacallit happens. I forget when. What colony were they in? Tokyo 2? Like, the Tokyo colony. I forget when that battle takes place, but Panda's already bigger. So maybe with a month and 5 days, he could regen. He's going to get, like, a massive amp. But, like, as of right now, where Panda was scaling before, I don't see him being useful in this final battle. I really don't. But I don't see any of the cat. Like, not any. Any's kind of dragging it. I don't see anyone outside the top 4. Yuji, Maki, Yuta, Hikari. I don't see any of them being useful. So why are they here? I have no clue. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sorry. I'm talking so much. Let me hop.
Yuji is going to do in that month-long time skip, because I do think he's going to get training, but I also think he is going to do something else. When Yuji said, I'll eat anything, at first I didn't have any memories about this. Like, I thought that was just him going to eat, like, a bunch of curse tools, but then I remembered what Geto did. And Geto's entire thing of eating countless amount of cursed spirits in order to get stronger, in order to rival Satoru Gojo again, and be considered the strongest, even though he wasn't, but that's beside the point, which reminded me of that. And I think Yuji is going to pull something very, very similar. Because as we learned from Gege, if Yuji were to devour the cursed wound paintings, he would end up just absorbing their cursed energy, which I think happened here. Which, yeah, Yuji definitely got a power up from this slight point, but we can't really quantify how much power up he got. I think he is going to spend this month-long time skip hunting down cursed spirits and starting to eat them one by one in order to reach the level of Sukuna, or at least reach a level where he can actually rival Sukuna, because Sukuna is definitely going to get his fingers over this time skip, which that's going to be its own video. But yeah, that's what I think Yuji is going to be doing now, because it just reminded me of when Geto started to eat cursed spirits over and over and over.
And you know what? I was about to say maybe this can't happen, because notably, the reason Geto was able to eat curses to become stronger is because that's literally his curse technique, like curse spirit manipulation. But Eternal Flame is spitting, because what did we learn recently? When I forget which chapter it was in. I believe it was in chapter 216. It was when we get the bath explained. We learn that cursed spirits have cores. It isn't just like when Kenny or Geto, I don't know why my brain slipped to Geto's name, but it isn't just like when Kenny or Geto used cursed spirit manipulation and they get reverted down to an orb that they need to new curse. It's not just like that. I wonder, do you think they get full? Like, do they have to poop those out, or do they just like get turned into curse energy when they're done with them? You say, I don't know. I really don't know about that. Because like they have thousands of them. It probably just gets turned to curse energy. But regardless, they do have the cores that they make. But we know that, or Ume, when she makes I'm not sure. I'm going to keep calling them they. I have no idea. I think Gege is specifically being vague about that. So when they make the bath, what do? They're like, oh yeah, I pin them down carefully, locate their cores, and then just like let them drain out. Like I don't actually execute them. I don't exercise them. I just do that, bada bing, bada boom, restrain their cores, I freeze their cores. I freeze their cores to make sure that they stay alive so they can pour out into the bath. So it's been established that you don't actually need curse spirit manipulation to access the core of a curse. You don't need it. But do you get that curse's abilities or the curse energy of the curse? Do you? I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you could, right? Like you could. But like, could you though? I mean, I guess it would make sense, because that would be the I'll eat anything. Like, that's literally just building up to that line. Like, that would be the idea of eating anything, because, oh, okay, you're gonna eat anything, just keep hunting cursed spirits. And we already kind of see a hint to Yuji hunting cursed spirits right after Shibuya, when he and Choso and Yuji starts hitting that everybody, it'll be up in your body. Oh, I can't sing, I'm sorry. But with that being the case, when he starts doing that, he is hunting curses with Choso, except he's executing them. He's not consuming them. But we do know that the Culling Game barriers are full of curses. Heck, Yuji could run to Tokyo Colony #2, where Hikari and Kashimo were fighting, and just start. So he could start to just munch. Interesting. And top this off with the fact that there's that one panel. I need to make a video on it myself, but there's that one panel where Maguna gets out the bath and he looks at his hand. He's like, "Is that a? Ain't no wait, bro. Is that a cut on my finger?" So like, it's probably already kind of been established that Yuji has some variation of Cleaver Dismantle, or the other popular theory, either people believe that is the indication that Yuji has maybe just subconsciously awoken Cleave or Dismantle, and or that like he reflected one of them back at Sukuna. Like when he swung, people are talking about like hypothetically he swung, and like since Yuji's body was so reinforced and Megami's body was fighting back against Sukuna, that he bounced one of them back and Sukuna got cut. And that's why he didn't even notice it, because it was like since his attacks were already so weak at that point, because Megami was holding back so much, it bounced off, took a bit of his skin off. He was like, oh, weird. I like the idea that Yuji awakened it, not awokened it. English pencil. But I like the idea that Yuji awakened it, because like it was set up hundreds of chapters ago at this point. But either way, I'm fine. I'm intrigued. And I like the idea. I like the idea of him going around and just nom. Especially since Curse Cores have been set up. They went out of their way to set that up recently too. And then followed that up with the Ali anything. Especially considering, I believe, not only did Gege explain what would happen to the cursed paintings if they were out, but he also offered the idea that they weren't even special grade. Like, they weren't up there. It was only Eso, Kejizu, and Choso that were special grade, curse level. And we know that Choso is at best a high grade one. He doesn't really have any proper scaling to special grades. Unless you want to, like, with Piercing Blood, he's able to harm special grades. And with his Buckshot, he's able to harm special grades. Because Kenjaku had to use the gravity technique to avoid it. So maybe he's up there. But still, every single brother's weaker than Choso. Like, Choso is the strongest of the paintings, and every single one was weaker. Maybe 6 of them together, or 7 of them together equal special grade, I guess. But even still, I think he would need more. So him going around and just hunting and consuming curses, it could work. That's a magic that could happen. Let's see.
Again, which eventually drove him mad. I don't think the same is going to happen to Yuji, because it's not like he is storing those cursed spirits, he's just eating them and turning them into cursed energy. I do think he's going to get some training from Gojo, but I think that Yuji's going to end up going off on his own to start hunting down cursed spirits. Because it's also, yeah, that's basically what I think the entire line of I'll eat anything is going to end up meaning in the long run. It's also just, Yuji had like a few suggestions about how they can save Fushiguro, and I think this is going to be one of them. I still think Yuji's going to end up unlocking the soul liberation technique that I talked about a while back. This video will not change my opinion of that. However, this is what...
I understand this fact. This is only something, and like, I'm not sure how many videos Eternal Flame has. I can check, and I will check after this. But like, that's the one thing about having, or like, being a content creator. Like, you have an anthology of videos. You know you've talked about certain things before and do not want to repeat yourself, so you're always, like, careful. Like, especially, at least for me, like, I have over 1,000 videos up on the channel, which is crazy to think about, college and Willikers. But, like, I do. And I know I've referenced a lot of stuff. So I don't, sometimes I forget. I'm like, uh-oh, am I repeating myself? Let me cut that out. So... I know exactly what he means. Like, I'm not changing my opinion on this. I may be mentioning something else, but that doesn't mean my opinion from earlier, if you happen to watch that, is invalid, and or like, I understand that feeling a lot. And I do like that idea, mainly because, like, once again, the soul liberation technique, or even just the soul punching technique, it's something I brought up in my Yuji versus Kuna video. But hypothetically, it is set up that Yuji has something similar. He does just straight Like, his punches don't just hit your flesh, they do hit your soul. Or at least they did when he had Sukuna in him, because he had the two soul effect. Like, accidentally, as a byproduct, he managed to perceive souls, and that's why he was able to be the natural predator to Mahito. But with that being the case, without Sukuna, can he do that? I mean, maybe if the brothers he consumed don't get turned to cursed energy and they like act as multiple souls inside him, then maybe he has the effect already, and maybe he just remembers it. Like, maybe he just knows how to do it. Like, he's been fighting like that for so long at this point that it's kind of just like natural. Like, you're always taking soul damage whenever you fight Yuji, even if you don't realize it. You're always going to be taking soul damage. So maybe that's the case, and if so, I'm down. But I really wonder what that's going to be like, because it is kind of up in the air whether or not he still has that ability. I think he does. That's why Choso right here hands the prison realm. Well, not the prison realm. He hands Yuki's notes about the soul, like, hey, you already know how to do this, but see if you get even more fancy. And it could introduce like a soul targeting technique. Because the big thing, and I was wondering when Maki was fighting Maguna, I was like, Maki, you have a blade that does like soul liberating. If you don't slice that man, like, legitimately, because she would have been able to bypass the durability then. But then I realized, wait, it's highly, like, I would assume that soul lib does not discriminate. A soul lib ain't got no eyes. Like, yeah, you know what they say about the things that come out of projectile fires? Like, you know how they say those don't have no eyes? Soul lib ain't got no eyes. Mine may be chilling inside it somehow, but that don't mean it got eyes. So if she were to swing on Maguna with soul lib, she may just end up doing more damage to Megami's soul and like actually execute him. Because we know Sukuna's soul is abnormally strong, like insanely strong. Even just when he was, what, 1 or 3 fingers, I'm pretty sure. So, like, if his soul is that strong, then I can't imagine how strong his soul is now with 15 fingers of himself. So, if anything, while she may still be able to bypass the durability, in terms of, like, actually doing soul damage, she may just, like, soul damage Megami. Which is why she had to hold back on that. She didn't whip that out on Sukuna. However, if Itadori can use the information of the soul that was entrusted to Choso, that he is now being entrusted with by Choso from Yuki, and use the innate ability he already picked up in order to like swing specifically for certain souls, and like he can actually properly perceive them. Like, notably, when Mahito says, oh, Itadori, he can perceive and attack the contours of the soul, like, I think it still is all subconscious. But if Itadori can open up that next level sight, open up his third eye on his forehead, and really start looking at people and be like, I ain't seen that soul in you, buddy. And he just starts specifically swinging for Sukuna's soul, then I think that could be interesting. I like that. I like the idea of the soul liberation effect. That's a W theory right there.
I think he's going to be doing alongside that. Because, yeah, Yuji got a power-up now, and he's definitely on the higher tier levels of power, but that's definitely not on the level to reach Sukuna, because Sukuna still needed Megami to... Because to even last against Sukuna, Megami still needed to suppress him in the long run. But with the determined face on Yuji's face, and his now by this point hatred of cursed spirits, and knowledge there is no saving them, that they are just cursed spirits, that they have no empathy whatsoever, I think this is going to end up leading Yuji down to a path where he has to do this, where he has to start hunting down cursed spirits to consume them. Now, whether he gets the cursed spirits abilities or not is going to be a question for later. However, I'm not sure that he's going to, like,
How would I feel? Here's the thing, right? With JJK pretty much certainly ending this year. Like, I think it is just like, it's in the cards. I don't think we're getting... At best, JJK's lasting to next year, March. I don't think we're getting any more than that. Why not? Give Yuji the curse techniques of the things he eats. Give him everything. Just break it. Break the darn shit. Like, a big thing that I'm, like, noticing, especially towards the end with how Gege's dropping these things, like, oh, yeah, Yuki made a black hole. Yorozu popped out a perfect spear that has infinite pressure. Whatever. Like, we're just throwing things out. I think, legitimately, Gege could just go crazy. Why not? Why not? And once again, if he's fighting Sukuna alongside Gojo, which I think would be a bad idea, I think Gojo should 1v1 Sukuna, then let him have techniques. He needs it to keep up. He needs everything. Like, even after what I've taken to calling liberated Yuji, even as powerful as liberated Yuji is, he gonna need them gains. He gonna need like insane gains in the membranes in order for him to like really be up there and relevant in a fight with Sukuna. So let him pop off a little bit. Just let him have it. Let him. It's kind of weird, but legit, just let him have it. Let him pop off a little bit. I'd love to see it, but let's see.
And maybe he might or might not. It really depends. It might make Yuji just extremely overpowered, but I also really don't want him to. For the same reason I don't want him to get Cleave and Dismantle. Well, not the same reason don't want him to get Cleave and Dismantle. That is going to be its own other video topic. Ooh. But it's for just the reason of that will give Yuji way, way, way too many abilities. However...
Now, notably... See, part of me, okay, maybe because I just feel bad for Yuji, but I low-key want him to get some MC treatment, like I have all the abilities treatment, like, I do want him to get that, but just knowing Gege, I don't think he ever does that for protagonists. Like, as powerful as Gojo's abilities are, they're kind of limited when you really think about it. What? He has neutral limitless, red, blue, purple, and domain. And unknown maximum. He should have a maximum too. As I was pointing out, like, if you're a special grade, you probably have a maximum. So you should have 6. 6 techniques. It's not that many. Yuta himself. Domain. I guess Rika. Sky manipulation. Well, mimicry itself. I guess mimicry itself should be its own unique technique. Sky manipulation. Drew Shikigami technique. Curse speech. Did I already say domain? Let's just, I forget already, but like domain and maximum. Once again, 8 techniques. How many techniques does Sukuna have? Like 10 with each of the 10 shadows, and then Cleave and Dismantle, and then domain, and then an unknown maximum most likely, and then who knows what else with all the other seals. Then he has the fire arrows. He has a whole bunch. Kenjaku, curse spirit manipulation. He literally has unlimited arsenal. So like, it feels like Gege's more limiting on the main cast than he is the opposing faction, if you get what I'm saying. Like, the enemies typically have numerous abilities of various varieties. Meanwhile, the main cast is like super limited. So I don't see Gege giving Yuji a whole bunch of techniques. 1, because obviously Yuji can't suffer if he has a whole bunch of techniques. And 2, just because it would seem a little bit inconsistent. At least with how Gege's been writing his main cast so far. He's not gonna, once again, I brought this up in the Yuta has one big weakness video, but like, he's not going to nerf Yuta and then buff Yuji. Like, I just don't see that happening. So, at least I got a lot.
I do think that this is just going to be a way to relate Yuji back to Geto, and just Gojo's going to have a flashback about this, about the entire rumor he heard about Geto, and it's just going to be Yuji is doing it for the sake of bettering the world, just like Geto was in his own vision, even though Geto was completely wrong about how he was doing it. Now, this is also just some random speculation coming from me. Like, I don't actually think he's going to do this. I do think he is going to do this, but I don't exactly have a way to even prove or disprove that he will do this. This is also just like my prediction that I think, and I just wanted to put that into like a video because I've been having this prediction for a bit now. Like, it just randomly hit me one day, just the entire idea of Yuji devouring cursed spirits. Now, I don't know if it's going to end up working the same as the eating a cursed wound paintings as it would for Yuji eating a cursed spirit. The other reason that I think this is purely because Yuji is made to be the Eye of the Storm for cursed spirits. The Eye of Kenjaku's Storm for cursed spirits. He's able to house cursed spirits in his body. Because if he is able to house Sukuna in his body, he's able to house any cursed spirit. Because it's not like he can't host the full power of Sukuna and control it. As the narrator themselves describe, the only way Sukuna could ever take control over Yuji was by mass feeding his fingers all at once to him. In a normal situation, he could contain Sukuna, and if Yuji just ends up eating a bunch of cursed spirits and turning them into his cursed energy, he would become this Eye of Cursed Spirits, this eye of power of so many cursed spirits, just all
The question is though, right? Like, how much fodder would he have to eat to reach Sukuna? Like, he has a month and 5 days. But, like, the disaster curses. Kurushi. That's about it. But, like, in terms of, like, super powerful curses, like, how many would he have to consume? Because, like, I'd say one finger of Sukuna is like 100. At bare minimum, it's like 100 curses. So 20 fingers. He's gonna have to eat up 20 fingers worth. So that'd be what, like 20,000 curses? That may be dumb. No, maybe. But like he would have to eat so many to even graze Sukuna's big toe. But then again, maybe not. Because like he has a really good base, and we already see liberated Yuji with his minimal amounts of well, not minimal, but like I don't think Yuji has like crazy reserves or anything like that. So with that being the case, I wonder like how many would he have to munch? Like he does have a month and 5 days, and a lot can happen in a month and 5 days. But he's gonna have to go to an all you can eat buffet of curses. Like golly, to catch up to Sukuna, that's gotta be crazy. Let's see.
Formed into one body. And it would just be an ultimate way to actually power him up, and it make a lot of sense too. Because as much as I think the soul liberation and blood manipulation is going to just be his new abilities he's going to gain as a result, I don't think that's going to be in people's mind enough of a power up to put him on this level of Sukuna. Because there are
and it's me. I'm people. I don't think it's enough. I legit don't think it's enough. Even if the soul live, maybe. But once again, if soul bulk, it's so weird to say, but like if soul bulk exists within JJK, which I think it does. I think there are levels to souls. And Sukuna is like at the top. And like Mahito's somewhere in the middle. And then like everyone else is at the bottom in terms of like soul durability. And like unless you go with like body soul durability. Like if you go with that equality that Kenjaku mentions, then like Maki and Toji would probably actually be above Mahito in terms of just sheer soul bulk. But like you want to talk about real soul bulk. I love the word bulk. I don't know why. But like real soul bulk. Even if you were to give Yuji that like soul lip kind of effect, he would have to land a bunch of hits on Sukuna. Or once again, like I mentioned, he would have to wait. Like I keep referencing that other video. Peep it if you haven't. But like specifically in the one video where I talk about Yuji versus Sukuna, I mentioned that maybe Gojo brutalizes Sukuna, or like they have a really intense fight and they're both like down to the wire. And then Yuji comes in with the soul lib effect and just like starts beating Sukuna's soul down. Since it's so worn down already from fighting Gojo, then he comes and cleans up. So then that may be enough. But in just like if he were to fight alongside Gojo or to run up on Sukuna on his own, blood manipulation plus soul lib, even if you were to infuse all of Yuji's attacks, including the blood manipulation attacks with soul lib, I don't think it's enough. I just don't think so. I think he's still stuck out of luck there, which is crazy to say. I know it's crazy to say, but it's just Sukuna's so powerful, dog. He's so girthy. He's so girthy. It's everywhere. Like legitimately, his girth reaches nationwide. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's not back to the
people who doubt Yuji's even on Maki's level, even though Yuji is definitely on Maki's level, let alone the Yuta tiers, the Hakari, etc. He's not on the Sukuna tiers yet. However,
is Yuji on Maki's level? I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think so. Because like Sukuna, maybe he's just intrigued, right? Because when I think about it, Maki would be the first one he's ever encountered. Like, except he met Maki. The thing is, he did meet Maki. So, like, he should know. But Maki's, like, the first person he's ever encountered with no cursed energy. Like, that's got to be the first person that's run up on him and actually managed to keep up a little bit with no cursed energy. So maybe he was just, like, giving Maki her props on that alone. But if you don't think that, Sukuna specifically keeps... Chair, can you stop making that noise? Sukuna specifically goes out of his way to be like, whoa, okay, yo, who is you? Who is you? You like this? You like, okay, I respect you, dog. I respect you, home girl. Let's get it. Let's throw these paws real quick. Like, he actually is like a fun time with Maki. And then with Itadori, he's like, you are boring. You are dumb. You are stupid. Why are you here? Vacate the premises. I'm trying to have a good time. You're ruining my fun. Leave. like legitimately, the mentality that he approaches it to with is different. And then he even mentions to Urume, like, oh yeah, it was a smart idea to focus most of your energy on the girl because she's actually a little bit dangerous. Like she can actually do something. Yuji though, look at him. He built like the Harima statue. Ha! And like laughs in his face. So I'm not even sure liberated Yuji's on Maki level yet. I know that's crazy to say, but like Maki's different. I need to make a video talking about Maki and how different she is. Though admittedly, getting sealed by Urume when looking Urume dead in the, like, it's a good feat for Urume. Like, it's a crazy speed feat for Urume, like, being able to look Maki dead in the face and be like, here, let me tag you real quick. Like, that's still a crazy feat, but like, really, Maki? Post Sakurajima? You really gonna get tagged by that? But regardless, let's see.
This power up of just eating every single cursed spirit that he can find in like Japan during this 1 month time skip, I feel for a lot of people it would suit as enough of a power up or a way to explain that Yuji actually got this power up. So yeah, if you like this prediction or if you have your own prediction, then be sure to comment it down below. I also am planning to make an entire list of my top 10 strongest Jujutsu Kaisen characters later on this week, but yeah, that's for later. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Are you interested in buying yourself some Jujutsu Kaisen merch? Like hoodie, t-shirt, and jacket?
Okay.
Go click the link in my description box now. They have amazing prices and all 30% off. And offer you free worldwide shipping over $49.90. So, what are you waiting for? Link in the description.
Alright. You know, I had to let the, you know, I'll hit that last second too. Ah! No!
Migraine hits home.
Ah! Editing me. You know what to do. You know what to do. Just cut the video. Cut the cameras. But you gotta let the full video rock. The YouTube algorithm is a cruel and malicious beast. But regardless, W video, indubitably. The idea of consuming curses, super duper neat. It's been set up. I think it would be a good way to give Yuji the power up. He does have a month and 5 days. He can eat 1,000 curses a day. Just no. You know how much calories Yuji burns, so I know those curse calories will just go right on through him. I like the idea. I think it's a W idea, especially with the soul lib effect on top of that. It'd be a good way to give Yuji an amp. It's been set up. I like the parallels to Ghetto, considering Megumi kind of is the parallel to Sukuna, or, well, the Honored One idea in Gojo and stuff like that. So I really like that. I like that. W video, W theory, W idea. I obviously found the wrong one, though. So, like, I'll keep looking. I will hit the video. You told me to react to. But that was a W video in of itself. And overall, twas worthy. Twas worthy indeed. However, if you made it all the way to the end of this overly long video where I ramble a whole bunch, please leave the King Itadori. Actually, no. Just leave the King Itadori fits this video, though. Leave the King Itadori in the comment section down below if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Please make sure you check out the original video. The link will be in the description down below, along with the link to Eternal Flame's channel. Please go click on both. Go sub up. Go like up. Go enjoy the content. He has great editing. He has a great voice for YouTube. He has great everything. So please, go peep. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notifications bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support for as low as $1 month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Ago the Pencil, writing off.